on some more. This is my stand-in. His name is Me, Mini-Me. I use this to set up the cameras and the lights and stand in for me when I'm not sitting here. So, we shall start in about maybe 2 minutes. We'll give a couple minutes for people to get here and settle in. This is my stand-in. This is my stand-in. His name is Me. All right. This is good. Now, you can hear me, right? Hello. Okay. Well, if any of you out there in viewerland have a question, please type it into the chat box now. We'll start in about 2 minutes, I think. I'm going to give a couple more minutes for people to, there may be stragglers or something. All right. I'm glad we look good. That's always good. Let's see. How about this? Good? Good. Okay, it works. All right. So I think, I hate to wait too long. So that's my last post-it note. Okay. Here we go. Actually, let's do this first. And turn the little crawly thing on the bottom off. Okay, we're going to start. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bob Dr. Mac. Oh, wait. Here. You might as well use the expensive special effects when you have them. I'm Bob Dr. Mac LeVitus. I am the creator of Working Smarter for Mac Users, which is a thing and also an ebook and also an online course. Let's see. I'm the author of 84 books and thousands of columns and articles for every magazine that's ever used, I think, every magazine that's ever had the word Mac in its title: Macworld, Mac User. Macazine, I was the editor-in-chief of. At Mac User, I had 4 different columns at different times in my career. I've written a column for the Houston Chronicle for 20-some years, and for the Mac Observer almost as long. So I'm a Mac geek. And what I've done for the past 20 years, basically 25, 30 years even, is write books that help Mac users learn to use things. So that's been what I've done for pretty much my adult life. All right, so I'm going to start the slideshow here. Ready? Let me put myself up in the corner first. And then we'll put on this screen. All right, and now let's start the slideshow. Okay, cool. Yes. Yes, we're starting the slideshow. Yes, here it comes. Uh-oh. Oh, temporary black screen. So, you know who I am now, and here we go. This is what I do. I show Mac users how to, well, ready? I show Mac users how to do more work in less time so they have more time for things they love. That's what I do. This is what Working Smarter does. And now here's my promise to you. In this 1-hour workshop, I will show you 3 simple Working Smarter techniques that I guarantee you will save you at least 15 minutes every day or more. 15 minutes, 3 simple tips. But they're going to save you that time every day for the rest of your life. Think of all the time you're going to save. What are you going to do with all that time? All right? Are you with me? Oh, good, you're with me. All right, so the thing about working smarter is a lot of my books have been for dummies books. I co-wrote iPhone and iPad for Dummies, iPhone for Dummies, iPad for Dummies. I wrote macOS High Sierra for Dummies and all of its predecessors, including System 7.5 for Dummies. That's how far it goes back. Anyway, working smarter is unlike anything I've ever done before. For one thing, it's the only project I've ever worked on as an adult that I have been in charge of, that I have had the final say on. All of those other books were for a publisher, and every publisher has changed something. Sometimes it's not bad, but it is often not what I had intended. And so in this case, it's all on me, and I love that. You know, it's the buck stops here. If something isn't good, it's my fault, and I'll fix it. I don't have anyone to blame, and I don't have anyone to deflect the heat. I answer the phones. I answer the email. I do tech support. All right, so here's the thing. It's unlike anything I've ever done before because I am it. I own it. It's mine. I'm not working for someone else, and nobody else is making decisions here. So what you see is what I want you to see. What you get is what I want you to get exactly. All right? So you may be wondering if this whole working smarter thing is for you. Well, working smarter is for Mac users at any skill level. Anyone who wants to be more efficient, wants to learn to manage their time and their activities better, and or learn to procrastinate less. Now, if you make your living sitting in front of a Mac, I guarantee 100% you'll benefit from working smarter for Mac users, and you're going to learn to do more work in less time so you have more time for things you love. Now, I say there's 3 parts to working smarter, and you got to work on all 3. And working smarter tackles all 3. The course and the book are both in 3 parts, and these are those 3 parts. Efficiency. What's efficiency? That's doing the stuff that you already do, but doing it better, faster, or more elegantly than you've done it before. Learning a better way to do it. The second is managing your activities. Notice I don't call that time management because there's no such thing. You can't manage time. Time ticks at 1,440 minutes a day, whether you like it or not. What you can do is plan your activities within the time allotted, and that helps a lot. And then finally, procrastination. That's the rabbit hole thing. And the result is, if you work on all 3 of these things, and I'm going to show you lots and lots and lots and lots of different ways to do these, all 3. If you do that, you're going to be a raging thunder lizard of productivity in less time than it took me to become a raging thunder lizard of productivity. So let me tell you a little story. In the old days, when I was young and just starting out in this business, I never missed a deadline, but it was always a struggle. I was always up against the wall when it came to working. I pretty much worked whenever I was awake. I was behind on work, or I never got caught up. Let's put it that way. And I worked a lot of hours, and I didn't make a lot of progress. And so, you know, I'd often work from, you know, when I woke up mid-morning, 10 o'clock or something, until midnight or 1 o'clock. I mean, 14, 15, 16-hour days. And I thought that was normal. I thought all writers just struggled to get words out on the screen. And so then about 20 years ago, I found out I have ADHD. And that's an attention deficit disorder, which means that, in essence, I have a disorder that almost prevents me from keeping my ass in the chair. And so I've had to learn how to deal with shiny objects and rabbit holes on the computer and interruptions and things that in the old days would have cost me half an hour of work or an hour of work. I mean, I spent probably half my day in a rabbit hole without knowing even that I was in a rabbit hole or what a rabbit hole was. And so then, after I found out about this, I read so many books and attended classes, therapy. I wanted to know what I could do to, I don't think it's overcome ADD, but to live with it, to harness it. And I really felt like if I could get a handle on this, I could really get a lot done. Because I've got the energy and I've got the imagination and I want to do it. It's just that my ADD got in the way and I was always down a rabbit hole somewhere. I could find a million things to do to not work during the workday. And so part of the whole working smarter thing is, after all this research and reading a lot of stuff, I came to the conclusion that nobody knows how to do it. Nobody knows how to make somebody with ADD or ADHD become productive or less forgetful or less flighty. 25 minutes is a long time for me to do anything, but I've learned to do it. I've trained myself. And the thing is, I'm really productive now. I don't stay in the office until all night, and I get everything done. I map out what I want to do. Well, we're going to talk about all of this because I'm going to show you 3 things, surefire techniques. All right? Here we go. Oh, wait. But first, what's your biggest frustration? What I want to do here is, since I'm not in real time, I'm going to ask you to type in your biggest frustration in the chat box, and I will get back to it at our next, at the next logical point to break. But one thing, before we move on to the cool Mac stuff, I want you to know that you'll miss out on the best deal if you leave early. Don't do that. Oh, wait. You're the only one here, and you already are in the course. So, all right, ignore that. You can leave early if you want. And now on to working smarter technique number 1. Ready? Snippets and why they rock. All right, so snippets are little pieces of text that appear when you type an abbreviation, the snippet. And what happens is you've got a lot of things that you type multiple times a day, like your email address, your phone number, your snail mail address maybe, very truly yours, or thank you, or thanks in advance, or lots of things that you type over and over and over again. And guess what? Your Mac types faster than you. If you just tell your Mac you want it to type that, it will type it much faster. And it's easier. You don't have to type it yourself. And best of all, it's more accurate, especially for things that are important like email addresses, snail mail addresses, and phone numbers, where one typo will cause the thing to fail. So anything you type more than a few times a day, email address, regular address, signature line, a phrase that you use with customers every time you write, your salutations and sign-offs, you know, very truly yours, comma, return, Bob, Dr. Mac, LeVitus. That's a lot of typing. I never type that. All right. The thing is, snippets will always save you time and effort, and they prevent embarrassing typos. So you should have snippets created for all of the things that you do regularly, all of the things that you type regularly. And so looking at the model we looked at in the beginning, this is in that efficiency section. This is doing something that you've always done, typing, typing your email address and things like that, but doing it better, faster, and more elegantly all together. So here's the thing. There are a couple of ways you can do this, and one of them is built into Mac OS X. So I'll show you how to do it that way, and then I'll talk a little about the way that costs money. Ready? All right, here we go. So you first launch System Preferences and click on Keyboard. All right, so then when you click on Keyboard, the keyboard pane comes up, and it's got 5 tabs. You want the Text tab. See it there? That's it, the Text tab. All right, then next, you click the little plus at the bottom. See the plus? All right? And that will open up a replace and a with field for you. Replace is the snippet, and with is the replacement for it. So you replace the snippet with something else. So what you do then is you type your snippet and your expansion. In this case, it's BW for Bob at WorkingSmarterAtMacUsers.com. So that saves me like 50 keystrokes, right? So again, the snippet part, or the abbreviation, is BW. And the replacement is Bob at WorkingSmarterForMacUsers.com. You can't see it all, but trust me, that's what it says. Now, I've created this. Watch what happens. Here, I'm going to type it, BW, and watch what happens when I press space. Pretty cool, huh? So look at all those letters. That's a lot more letters than I have to than I want to type. That's a finger twister too, because you got to hit the @ key, and I'm not as good at numbers as letters. So that's probably a 15-second typing job for me, and I type it a lot of times a day. So here's the thing. I have dozens of these. Sometimes I have to look at a cheat sheet to remember them all, but the ones that I use every day, all of my email addresses, my phone number, my home address, my signature, and a couple of paragraphs of boilerplate that I use often enough to have made snippets out of them. I use this all day long, and I would say it saves me, well, I can show you how much time it saves me. So I use a program called Text Expander to do my snippetizing. It's a snippet app, but it's purpose-built to do snippet expansion and storage, and I'm going to show you a cool trick. But in just 4 months, so this is showing September to January, September of last year to January of this year, so 4 months, let's say. So you got September, October, November, and December. All right? And 4 months, 12.08 hours saved at 60 words per minute. I type 60 words per minute, roughly, and so I've saved that's 3 hours a month. What are you going to do with all of that extra time? I mean, wait, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 times 3 is 12. My math skills are terrible. Okay, so there, I saved 3 hours a month. That's almost an hour a week just by having snippets for the handful of things I type regularly. So if my time is worth, let's say, $150 an hour, I'd say Text Expander just saved me $1,800 worth of time, that I can use for something else that I will get paid for, maybe. All right, so which way do you want to do it? What's up with that? You want to do it the hard way, which is typing the same stuff over and over and over and over and over? Or are you going to start using snippets? So you can tell me in the chat there. I'm not going to wait. I'll come back to that. But let me know. Are you doing it the hard way or the easy way these days? Snippets. All right, type your answer in chat, and I'll get back to that momentarily. Now I'm going to show you working smarter technique number 2. Because a goal without a plan is just a wish. I love that phrase. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Because you can say, I'm going to write a book. But if you don't have a plan to write that book of some sort, if you don't say, I need to do this much a day to finish the book by this day, and then do all the work that way, then you will never have a finished book. I mean, you just have to plan if you want to get more work done. You have to allocate your time carefully and do the things that are most important. So one thing I urge every one of my students and readers is it's crucial to know which tasks you have to finish today and which ones you don't. So I have a space. I'm going to talk about what you're seeing in a minute, but I have a space on my form that I use to write this stuff down every day to make my daily plan, where I have 3 most important tasks. I isolate 3 things that have to be done today. Those are important. I will do those before I do other things. And when I put them on the time block, like this, so I have stuff every hour, and that means that I'm going to work on it for 2 25-minute sessions. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But basically, I've got stuff all down there, and there were 3 things up in the upper right corner that were most important, and those, of course, were the things that were at the top of the list. Everything else was not as important, and if something ran long in the morning, I'd still finish the most important stuff, and the other stuff I could pick up the next day. So in the old days, I had a to-do list. My to-do list finally was about, I think, 13 or 17 pages long, and I realized it was virtually useless. Why? Well, I'd cherry pick the easy things to do. I'd look at the list, I'd pick something that either was not too hard or kind of fun, maybe not very important, but if it was on the list, I would do it. I'd cross it off, and I'd beat my chest. Oh, you're so productive. But I wasn't doing the important things, and I would find myself getting closer to a deadline and going, oh, crud, I've got to write 5 pages a day for the next 2 days, or I won't make the deadline, or I got to write 10 pages a day, or even worse. So the thing is, a plan, a plan helps you manage your activities. It helps you allocate the time that you have available for working efficiently so that you will get the right things done in addition to just working faster and better. All right, so this is the second leg, managing your time and managing your activities within time, or planning as I call it. And as I said, time management is a misnomer. There's no such thing. Time is constant. We don't manage time, we manage how we use our time. So no less a global celebrity than Guy Kawasaki said he's going to finish his next book because of my book. So he read Working Smarter for Mac Users, and he's going to finish his book because of it. This stuff really works. It really does. So one thing I recommend is that you download my Super Plan Productivity Planning Worksheet. I print one of these for every day. Actually, I print them 30 at a time, put a pile of them behind my desk. Every morning, I fill one out. Every morning. Without fail, by the way, unless I'm not working. If it's a weekend or I'm taking a day off, I do not. But if I'm working, even if I'm only working a few hours, I fill out a page and map out what I'm going to do in those hours. So I want you to download this free productivity planning worksheet and start supercharging your productivity today. But I don't want you to leave yet, so I'm going to put up a slide with the URL at the very end of the workshop, okay? All right, so here's the next question. Will you try making a plan? Are you going to use this plan strategy? Because I'm telling you, it works. It's good. Type yes or no in the chat box, and I will get back to you shortly. All right, when you're finished, okay, here we go with technique number 3, the Pomodoro technique. Do you do the Pomodoro? I told you before that ADD makes it difficult to keep your ass in the chair. And these are some quotes that kind of point to how important it is to keep your ass in the chair if you want to get something done. So Wallace Stegner said, the hardest part of writing is keeping your ass in the chair. Oliver Stone said, the secret to writing a screenplay is keeping your ass in the chair. And for probably 20 years, I've been saying the secret to getting stuff done is keeping your ass in the chair. You know why? Because if your ass isn't in the chair, your fingers aren't on the keys. And if your fingers aren't on the keys, you're not getting things done, unless you use voice. That's a different story. Okay, so here's the thing about this Pomodoro. It keeps your ass in the chair. So here's how it works. You set a timer for 25 minutes, and you do one thing and one thing only. Before you set the timer, it's a good idea to put everything on Do Not Disturb. Turn off the phone if you can. Do Not Disturb on all your Apple devices. Put a sign on your door, don't knock until 12:25 if you're starting at noon. And the thing is that you don't want to be interrupted because you're going to work on one thing for 25 minutes straight. And I call that getting in the zone. And when I'm in the zone, I've read and research seems to support that it takes up to 22 minutes to get back in the zone when you're interrupted. And I like being in the zone. That's where you're typing as fast as your brain is thinking, and it's coming out on the page just the way you need it to at just the right tempo, and you're just kind of typing and it's happening and you're right in the moment. And if the phone rings or somebody walks in your office and starts talking, the spell is broken, and when you're done with the interruption, you're going to have to start back in. So in the Pomodoro program, when that happens, you have to start your 25 minutes over and do 25 minutes focused on the single task. All right? So you don't need anything to do the Pomodoro except a timer, and you can really say to your any Apple device, hey, SIRI, set a timer for 20 minutes or 25 minutes. I prefer 25. Some people like 20. It doesn't matter. The key is to sit and keep your ass in the chair for those 20 minutes and do one thing. So I use a free app from the App Store called ZoneBox. I like it for two reasons. It's got a progress bar at the top of the screen and at the bottom of its window, and it also has the exact time. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can. Okay. So up at the top of the screen, it says 13, which is halfway through a 25-minute session, a little more than halfway through. Okay, so if you do the Pomodoro, oh, by the way, Pomodoro is Italian for tomato. And this is the kind of timer, the guy that invented it 50 years ago or whatever, this was the timer he used for his Pomodoros, which is how it got its name. So going back to our 3 legs of working smarter, this banishes procrastination. This is if you do one thing and you're honest to yourself, you can't procrastinate for 25 minutes or you'll have to start over. All right, so Pomodoros combined with time blocking, which is, having a plan, is a game changer. This guy said he feels like he has a new lease on life. He's more productive, more effective, and he's fallen in love with his Mac again. I'm telling you, this stuff works. And that brings us to the close of the educational portion of this workshop. You take those things that I just told you, and I pretty much guarantee you can save 15 or more minutes every day for the rest of your life. I just gave you that, and it's free. Enjoy, please. But if you want to be a raging thunder lizard of productivity, you're going to have to go a little farther than this 1-hour workshop. So here's the thing. Are you ready to be a raging thunder lizard of productivity? I need you to type your answers in the chat box. And I have one more question for you. Why are you here today? What is it that you're looking for? Are you looking to be more efficient when you use your Mac? Would you like to learn to do things better, faster, and more elegantly, like snippetizing or snippets? Would you like to spend more time doing things you love and less time working? That's the planning part. That's like not wasting work time. And finally, are you ready to banish procrastination forever and ever? And that's a combination of the Pomodoros and time blocking. And then here's the really big question. Don't you want to be a raging thunder lizard of productivity? I know I would. And by now you're probably wondering, so what can I do to get such results? Well, the way I see it, you got 2 options. There's the old slow way and the new fast way. I bet you can guess what the fast way is all about. Yes, indeed. It's my new course, Working Smarter for Mac Users. 10 hours, 73 lessons. It's also an ebook. It's also the fast way if you're a fast reader. A lot of people have told me that they got more out of the course than the book because, of course, I'm explaining things and there's things that aren't in the book because they came to me while the camera was rolling. All right? They both cover the same basic ground. But they both do this. They show Mac users how to do more work in less time, so they have more time for things they love. It's awesome. And you might be asking yourself, who's it for? I've said this already. Almost any Mac user at almost any skill level is going to be able to understand and benefit from my Working Smarter for Mac Users ebook or course. Remember, I've written literally dozens of For Dummies books, and I know how to be clear and concise and write without jargon. So if you think you could be doing more work in less time, if you think that you probably spend at least a portion of your day not being productive, I'm certain that you will become more productive by taking the course, reading the book. Let me show you how I can help, okay? My online course has 73 lessons. All are under 10, most are under 10 minutes, and really the vast majority are under 5 minutes. And they're broken into those 3 parts that are by now familiar. Here's how many lessons we got in each part: 26, 22, and 23. Each part's, I think efficiency is slightly longer at about 3.5 hours, and the others are 3 maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say. The whole thing is about 10 hours, all right? And here's the important part. I've taken a lot of courses online, and, well, I wrote, produced, shot, directed, and edited every lesson all by myself. So what you're seeing is what I want you to see, done the way I want you to see it. I've done courses for other people where I didn't think that the finished product was very good, and I didn't think that what they put on the screen when I was talking was appropriate or right. Well, I don't have anybody to blame but me now. So I love the way my lessons look, and so do my students. And here's another thing. Well, wait. In just under 10 hours, I think maybe just over 10 hours, you're going to learn every trick I've learned for becoming more efficient at your Mac, for managing your activities in time, and avoiding procrastination. And now, here's the other good part. It's optimized for whatever device you want to watch these lessons on. I've watched them on my iPad, my iPhone, and on my desktop, and they look equally good on all 3 as long as you have a good internet connection. All right, another thing. I've taken other classes, and a faceless person answers your questions, and it's not the instructor. It's somebody that's paid to answer your questions. That's not going to happen with me. I answer all the questions, and usually I answer them the same day. I get an email if anybody posts a question in any of the lessons. So usually I see it, and as soon as I have a free 25 minutes, I respond to it and you know, take care of things. And so you'll know it's me that's doing the answering and not one of my minions. You know why? I don't have any minions. I'm a solopreneur, and I like it that way. All right, so I have a really good deal for you. Here's the thing. The course normally goes for $4.99, and workshop attendees, that's you out there, get 60% off. You can buy it today for just $1.99. And that's my thank you to you as a workshop attendee, because I know you're going to love it, and I know you're going to tell your friends. But don't delay. This one-time offer expires at midnight on Sunday, March 11th. No, I'm sorry, on Sunday, March 18th. The screen says it right. I'm looking at last week's script. All right, so don't delay. The offer expires at midnight on Sunday, March 18th. And while there will be a replay of the workshop, it won't include this offer. Actually, it might include the offer, but the coupon won't work anymore. So let me wrap this up for you, okay? If you spend too much time chasing rabbits down rabbit holes, if you procrastinate when you know you should be working, whether it's Facebook, or which I call Bookface, eBay, Etsy, tabloids, my wife's favorite, or even cat videos on YouTube, the bottom line is I'm going to show you how to do more work in less time every day, guaranteed. You'll do more work in less time. I guarantee it, and I stand behind it 100%. I offer a money-back guarantee, 30 days. If you're not doing more work in less time, there's got to be a reason. And really, I'll help you if you like. But if you don't think it's for you, money-back guarantee. All right, no questions asked. Imagine this. Picture this. Picture yourself finishing all your work before the sun goes down every day, having time to get in the hot tub before it's dark out, or to go for a walk with your dog before it's dark out, or whatever it is you like to do before it's dark out. Every day I know how happy this makes me. And you out there have nothing to lose and so much to gain. So let me show you real quickly what happens when you enroll. Ready? Here's what happens. All right, first, you're going to get a welcome email almost immediately with login instructions. Then you can dive right in. I say you should start with the introduction and prelude because they're a little longer than lessons, but they set the stage for pretty much everything to come. If you want to know, the why, read those two things. And then otherwise, you could just dive right into the first lesson if you want, if you're eager to start learning. The whole course is always available to you all at once. I don't do that drip thing where you have to watch lesson 1 to see lesson 2. If you watch part of a lesson and it's not for you, you can just go to the next lesson. It's very modular. It's not like you'll miss the plot if you decide that the lesson on automation and macro writing isn't for you. Just skip right through and go to the next thing. All right? So, do I have all at once? I don't do. Where am I? I'm getting an echo. Echo. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you're not getting too much echo out there. All right. So here's what happens when you enroll. Let's see. Dive right in. Okay. The whole course at once, so you can binge watch or whatever they say, binge learn. It's kind of like Netflix, all you want. Or watch one a day for 71 days or 73 days. Do whatever suits you, but finish as quickly as possible so that you get relief. And then you can put that full array of your working smarter techniques to work for you. You'll also receive a weekly reminder from the course for as long as you have unwatched lessons. All right, so let me say hello to everyone out there. Thanks, Jeff Ferrier. I'm glad. Oh, great presentation. Thank you. I'm working on it. When I get it perfect, I'm going to tape it and automate it. But I'm going to do it live for a few more weeks because I'm still kind of getting the flow of it. All right, so hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Save 60%, blah, blah, blah. Enroll today. All right, now I'm going to back out of this and paste the URL into the chat in case you're, well, let's see, where'd the chat go? Over here. Okay, here it is. And I need the URL. There it is. So here comes the course URL. Ready? Into the chat box. Course URL, yes. Okay. Oh, you know what? I can put this stuff away for a minute. Now we're going to go back to the slideshow, okay? Because I know you're already enrolled there. So we can just get on with the show. Save 60 to enroll now and save 60%. And we're going back into slideshow. All right. And this is the part where I say, any questions? All right, I'll come back and check those in a minute. Let's get through these last couple of slides. You got nothing to lose and countless hours to gain. It's hypnotizing, isn't it? All right, if you're on the fence still, or if you're still on the fence, remember that you have a money-back guarantee. If you don't love it, you can get your money back, and really, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. You could become a raging thunder lizard. But remember, this offer expires Sunday at midnight. So 60 off till Sunday at midnight, and start working smarter today. Let me help you become a raging thunder lizard of productivity. And now, because I promised, here's where you download the Working Smarter for Mac users. Well, there's a bunch of freebies there, but one of them is my worksheet. Let me paste that into the chat for you. Freebies. Here we go. And there's the freebies URL in the chat box. And I will come back to answer questions in one moment, but I think I figured out how to make the credits play. Let's see if we're hearing that. There's no way to tell. Maybe over here. I will be back for questions and answers as soon as the credits are done. Oh, I should turn off the picture-in-picture for the credits, shouldn't I? Yeah, next time I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a note here while the credits are playing for you. Well, and that concludes the prepared portion of our event. And let's see. Okay, we want to get out of here. The end, at least for now. Okay. Slideshow over. Okay. If you have any questions, type them in that chat box there. If not, I will talk to you Monday. Jeff, did you get my email about making our little meeting a little later on Monday? I have a doctor's appointment. I'm afraid I might not be back in time. So look for an email from me asking you about doing it a little bit later. All right? All right, well, I guess I could turn some of this stuff off, huh? That we don't need. And that. And that. Yeah, I'm back. Well, all right. And that concludes our show. Once again, well within my 1 hour limit. I hope you learned something new today. And that's all I got. All right. Shecky, get the jet. We're out of here. Thank you for attending. We will be back next week.